Today we're going to have the masterclass on mindset change for climate action solutions, nature action solutions, and pollution action. And the discussion we're going to look at is how do we play our own part to be able to drive solutions for the challenges that we face, especially environmental challenges that are weighing down on our shoulders. And so the key today is we'll talk about one word: reciprocity. So reciprocity. What does this mean? We give and we take. So nature actually gives us a lot of opportunities. It gives us services through ecosystems. Ecosystem services. The water we drink is a service of ecosystem. It's a service of nature. The air we breathe is a service of nature. The pollinators that pollinate, cross-fertilize and pollinate over 75% of the food we eat. The pollinators is an ecosystem service. It is an ecosystem service. Pollinating 75%. And so the point now is, when it comes now to reciprocity, humans have contributed to the changing climate by emitting greenhouse gases into the atmosphere through heavy industrialization, using fossil fuels, application of chemicalized fertilizer that are produced using fossil fuels, littering our environment with plastics. They end up in landfills, resulting to emissions of greenhouse gases and so on and so forth, get to our oceans. So what we expect, sometimes we forget that we need to also give back to nature. Nature is fighting back because we've all been taking what nature is producing: the air we breathe, the water we drink, the soil chemical processes that rejuvenate themselves. Then we put in chemicalized fertilizer, then we emit into the atmosphere. So the discussion today is, how can reciprocity be applied in our daily lives so that at least we can give back to our environment? And the first thing is that reciprocity is not taught in school. If you do anything, let's take trees that grow on the soil. The soil nourishes them, and then the tree grows, and then they develop branches and leaves. The leaves falls down and nurture the very soil that the tree then takes back the nutrients. So it's give and take. So if we are only taking and not giving, then we're missing the point, and that is why we're facing the challenges that we're facing in the world today. So what do we need to do? What we need to do is to start playing our role, to start ensuring that we reciprocate. We reciprocate because reciprocity is a two-way traffic. We have to start giving back, because if you're only taking and you're not giving back, that relationship, regardless of whether it is a job, it's a relationship, it's a social engagement, is going to fail. And so we must be able to do what we expect others to do. So if nature is giving back to us, if someone is giving back to us, we cannot ride an obedient horse to that. We must be able to give back. So what do we need to do? The first thing is we must develop an attitude of playing our part. An attitude of playing our part, that's the first. And how to play your part is to do unto others as you like them do unto you. If you are receiving from nature, if you are receiving from anyone, also play a part to give. Do not expect somebody to give to you more than you would give to that person. And that's the same attitude we need to cultivate for nature. The second one is we must move out of the comfort zone of thinking that things need to be done for us. Comfort zone is a dangerous zone. It's a dangerous zone. And how do we do that? We must become purposefully passionate about turning challenges to opportunities, working with nature, not against nature, working with the environment, not against the environment, appreciating people, developing and nurturing an attitude of appreciation, of selflessness. And that takes me, that's the third point now, which is selflessness. Because with selflessness, we are not only going to do what benefits us, but we'll do what benefits the entire society. We'll be able to start thinking, how do we then turn agricultural waste into fuel briquettes to help a mother who is choking because she's cooking using charcoal or firewood, and the indoor pollution that is costing over 700,000 Africans die every year because of indoor pollution. To reverse this, we need everybody to usher his or herself into the solution space of learning how to turn agricultural waste into fuel briquettes. This way, we will be reversing the degradation of our forest ecosystems. We'll be ensuring that the water continues to flow. We'll be ensuring that we save lives of over 700,000 people who die every year. And remember, one life lost is one far too many. And if we can be able to save a life by just playing our role, then we are benefiting nature, and then we are saving lives, and we are benefiting community. If each and every one of us can reciprocate the good of nature, the good of our own selves towards the good of others, everyone will start to coalesce around good, around selflessness, around kindness, around passion, and the problems of our society today will be solved. And the last part, which we have to look at now, is then, if we do not reciprocate, what will happen? Report after report, the UNEP emissions gap report launched in October shows that we're heading between 2.4 to 2.8 degrees. That means we might not keep the 1.5 degrees alive. The catastrophic impact of this will be worse than what we see today. What we see is just the tip of the iceberg, the floods, the drought, cyclones that are killing millions of people. That then means we must work hard as a global community, with each and every one of us playing a role at the individual level, educating the community, retooling our skills, and innovatively volunteering ourselves into the solution space, and that's becoming an innovative volunteerism actor. The second is that in November, the UNEP emissions gap report, in November, UNEP released, in addition to the emission gap report, what is called the adaptation gap report. And this report showed that the world has been more planning, developing national adaptation plans, planning, but not implementing at the same pace. And the world needs over 300 billion US dollars to 500 billion US dollars between now and 2030 to build climate resilient environment. So where does that leave us? If we do not reciprocate in building climate resilience, in providing more funding to build resilience in communities, because adaptation is local, in inspiring our young people to become the solution providers, then we are heading towards an apocalyptic society, an apocalypse. And that is going to be dangerous. It therefore means reciprocity must become part and parcel of us. If we take from nature and we don't give back to nature, nature fights back through droughts and floods. It fights back through cyclones and typhoons. It fights back through heat waves. It fights back through hurricanes that destroy our environment, destroy human life. And we must reciprocate with one another, show love and kindness, show passion in whatever thing that we do, and play our part in the solutions process. And doing all this means that we must become innovative volunteerism actors. So reciprocity, don't expect to get from someone when you are not giving. Don't expect good when you are not also good. Don't expect kindness when you are not kind. Let's all be kind and reciprocate, because it's only through reciprocity that we can be able to drive a better world. Thank you very much, and thank you for attending this masterclass on mindset change for climate action solutions. I'll be right back. Welcome to the masterclass. Today we are going to discuss how do we build value and pitch value rather than pitching problems, but than pitching problems, we rather pitch solutions. And so today we are going to focus on value. Value. So what is value? Value is what you can offer in a positive way. Value is what you bring. And to be valuable, it needs effort. You cannot build any value without applying effort. It needs effort, it needs dedication, and it needs self-discipline. So self-discipline, discipline in building value. And so why do we need value? I don't know if you could ask this question, why do we need value? Why are we not just there having everything and just being okay? Because that's the kind of mindset that most of us do have, which I want to debunk today, because the truth is that each and every one of us hold a piece of the solution to the challenges that the world faces today. Climate change, biodiversity loss, pollution and waste. All these environmental challenges that we face today, and on top of those, food insecurity, youth unemployment, energy poverty, need solutions. And for those solutions to be preferred, to be developed, it needs human beings. It's human beings that prefer solutions. So all these aspects, human beings are solution providers by design. But to be a solution provider, you need to build value. And value is learning to be able to turn a challenge into an opportunity. Then you can offer value. If you are a photographer, you learn how to do photography, take nice photos, package them in a way that tell a story. You can offer value through providing that photography service. If you learn how to make briquettes, you dedicate effort, you read, you go online, you study on YouTube how to make briquettes. You get out there and develop a local solution using drums as your own carbonization machine, because you might not be able to have the money to afford to buy a briquette machine. You use that carbonization using just a drum, locally made, to be able to carbonize waste material to turn it into briquettes, and use any binder, cassava binder or molasses and clay to make your first briquette. That process entails dedication, entails effort, it entails self-discipline to get online and learn. And when you do all those things and you gain the skill, you now become valuable to offer an opportunity, a solution to replace charcoal, to replace firewood with briquettes that burn 3 to 4 times more effective than that. That way, you are building value. And when you build value, because actually each and every one of us do have talent, but talent alone is not enough. Having a talent to sing, to write, to speak is not enough. You must apply effort to that talent to give you a skill. So if you have a talent to read, to learn very quickly, to communicate, to sing, if you don't practice how to sing and communicate a particular issue, then your talent will just be as good as it can get. Let me repeat that again. Talent must be applied effort on to then give a skill. And when you have a skill, then you can offer value. And the reason why we need to be valuable is because if you are not valuable to offer, especially a solution to the needs we face today, you will be as good as you can be. But you will not be able to be transformational in the way that solutions are provided. So now, how do we then communicate value? Communicating value in preferring solutions. Most of us sometimes start by communicating problems. Oh, I come from a very poor home. Oh, I am broke. Oh, I am all the ohs and the hands up happening. Sometimes even when you have the value to offer to, you start to communicate money upfront. Oh, I need millions of dollars to do this. When you have not even shown what you can offer, where you offered it, how you did it even without the resources, so that at least you can actually be showing yourself as a de-risking tool, right? Because you must de-risk yourself from the perspective of offering a solution and offering value upfront rather than offering a problem and asking for money upfront. That way you will be a risky asset. Risky asset. And so when you have value, communicate value from the perspective, I have been able to learn on my own to turn agricultural waste into fuel briquettes, to replace charcoal, and I've tested it within 3 homes in my community. And the mothers today have moved away from charcoal and they're using briquettes. And their feedback is that it's saving them money, it's helping them to be able to not rely on charcoal, so their kids are able not to go to hospital because they're not choking from their lungs that they've inhaled the smoke from charcoal. Their pots are clean, and because briquettes burn 2 to 3 times more effective than charcoal, they're saving a lot. And that I have actually used these local approaches to do this. And if I was to be able to afford 2 resources, this is what I could do, and this is how it can go. Have you seen that pitch? Okay, watch this second pitch. The second pitch, which is, oh, I come from a very poor home. I'm very poor. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I just want to have money to start doing something. Immediately you are pitching yourself like this. This is not a value proposition. This is a complaining and blame game and victimhood projection that actually makes someone to even start to be afraid of who he or she is dealing with. Because you are not bringing value to the table. You are not communicating value of what you have done, of what you have done, the product, what the product can do, so that at least somebody starts to see, oh, there was effort into this, it's solving a problem, and it's a potential scalable opportunity to tap into and invest. So you must always, at every time, see yourself as an investor, right? And when you see yourself as an investor, when you do see yourself as an investor, you would then communicate value and opportunity rather than starting off to talk about money. So see yourself as an investor and communicate value, solutions in a convincing way to attract someone to see you as a less risky asset. Did you hear that? Communicate value and how you have done it even without resources, and explain how you're going to take it forward. And that now forms one very important part called an unborrowed vision. So from value communication, there is a powerful word called unborrowed vision. What then is an unborrowed vision? An unborrowed vision is where you want to go with a solution that takes people to another level. So if a village is suffering from indoor pollution, their lungs are choking, they're having breathing problems because they're depending on charcoal and firewood, and you want to address the issue of them depending on charcoal and firewood, you want to bring in a solution like fuel briquettes made from agricultural waste, or you want to bring in biogas, or they're depending on chemicalized fertilizers, and this is depreciating their pockets, reserves, because they have to buy imported chemical fertilizer that destroy our environment. So you want to develop and create an opportunity to have the community to access biofertilizer made from organic waste. What you need to do is that I will start small with what I have, and in the next 5 years, this is where I need to take them. That is called an unborrowed vision. To take the community to another level in the next 5 years, doing A, B, C, D. And an unborrowed vision can only be achieved when you develop what I call purposeful passion. Purposeful passion. And purposeful passion is the fuel that drives you with or without even money to do something. And that something must be to benefit the entire community, not only you as an individual. This was it for today, the masterclass on pitching value. And next time, we will discuss how, building on this value, we can be able to bring impact to scale across the continent. It was the masterclass on mindset change for climate action solutions. See you next time. You reached 10 minutes. Yeah. Was not supposed to reach 10 minutes.